Dear friends, we are now at the end of the fourth day of a difficult war against a barbaric and cruel enemy whose aim is to murder innocents, entire families, babies, women, elderly, Holocaust survivors, disabled, anyone they manage to get their hands on. I will not go into the staggering numbers of Israeli murdered, wounded, and taken into captivity, except to say that the sheer scope of this catastrophe is nothing like we have ever experienced before, and it dominates everything we do, feel, and think 24 hours a day. And there is much more suffering yet to come. It's just a terrible, terrible time. I'd like to say a few words about Wizo and what we are doing during this time. Wizo is the largest educational and social welfare organization. We embody giving, voluntarism, education, and a deep sense of responsibility for Israel and its society. In times of crisis, Wizo's commitment remains unwavering, mobilizing promptly to meet critical needs. Our welfare activities continue during emergencies, focusing on vulnerable populations: women, young women, mothers, teenagers, children, and babies. We maintain close communication with our 6,000 employees and thousands of women volunteers everywhere in Israel. Every one of them is going through difficult times, and every home and family has been touched by this tragedy. Many have lost loved ones to murder or kidnapping. Many others have husbands, children, and grandchildren who have been drafted for emergency reserve in service in the IDF. Most of them on the dangerous front lines of the war. With the outbreak of the war, the government ordered the closing of all educational institutions. Therefore, our daycare centers and schools are closed, with a few important exceptions. 3 of Wizo's youth villages are home to 250 participants in the Naale program. These are Jewish teenagers from around the world who come to Israel to live and study. Many of these children came to us last year as refugees from war-torn Ukraine. Imagine the trauma they are experiencing, but we are doing everything we can to ease their fears and homesickness. Today, Wizo succeeded in convincing the government to allow us to open 4 of the daycare centers that we operate in hospitals. In Jerusalem, Rishon LeZion, Tel Aviv, and Hadera. With these daycare centers operating, the parents, who are doctors and other critical medical staff, are free to devote themselves completely to their life-saving work. We did this during the pandemic as well. There are 2,000 daycare centers in Israel, and all of them are closed except these 4. In addition, our various emergency services are open and operating. This includes our 2 shelters for women victims of domestic violence and their children, our foster homes, our 2 emergency centers, one established by the Tabasinik family and Wizo, Florida. These are centers for the most troubled children and teens who cannot live at home with their parents. Our parents' home, a facility for the elderly with 110 residents between the age of 75 and 105, including 35 Holocaust survivors, is operating, and we are taking good care of these wonderful people who have contributed so much to our country. We continue to support 140 women and their children in 9 different communities who are part of our safety net program for women after they leave domestic violence shelters. Because during wartime, these women need all the support they can get. We have increased the hours and staffing of our 3 national telephone hotlines. 1 for the advice to parents of small children, 1 for women victims of domestic violence, and 1 for men in the cycle of domestic violence. Our volunteers are active all over the country, caring for people in their community and working to bring food, clothing, and other assistance to the people of the South and to our soldiers. And these are just a few of the many facets and initiatives that Wizo is taking during this time. We're all over and everywhere in Israeli society, and every day will bring new initiatives, new ways of helping our people. None of this, I have to say, would be possible without the incredible solidarity and support of our global Wizo movement, of which you are one of the most important chapters. We are in close touch with our 38 federations worldwide, ensuring they are updated on Israel's situation and on day-to-day developments in Wizo, and in embracing them, knowing that you, all of you, are suffering deeply with us. We have launched an emergency fundraising campaign, and we hope that you will give generously. We are profoundly moved and encouraged by your support and solidarity. We know you suffer deeply with us. Our pain is your pain, and together we will survive this nightmare. We will win this war, and we will continue to flourish in our homeland. Am Israel Chai. Thank you.